Hello and welcome to our Integrity podcast. I'm your host Madina, and today's our guest is Nagimash. Nagimash is a fourth-year student of economic faculty at Nazarbayev University. Most of our listeners might know her. She was a host of our 10 days marathon at Instagram account. This marathon had shown the significant results of our participants. There were the community of like-minded people that had supported themselves in their self-improvement journey. So with Nagimash, together we will uncover the valuable insights for our listeners to help them to lead more intentional and integrity-driven life. We will talk about the concepts of self-discipline and self-improvement today. So first of all, I want to ask you, Nagimash, what integrity means in the context of relationships with ourselves.
Thank you for the question, Madina. For me, honestly, integrity is being honest with myself, like completely honest. What does it mean? It means to recognize your imperfections and work on them. So when we face the truth, and even if it is uncomfortable for us, we start to build ourselves and our self-worth. So we recognize our imperfections and we're open to growth. So what does it mean? It means we take the responsibility for our actions and not blame others.
Thank you. And also moving to the self-discipline. How do you think, why is it such an essential aspect of maintaining integrity with ourselves?
Yes, I think self-discipline and how to say being true with yourself, the same things. I mean, the self-discipline creates consistency in our actions and it facilitates the trust in ourselves. So when we are involved in considering the long-term goals, the long-term consequences of our actions, we need to build a self-discipline. So discipline is when you're resistant to external pressures. For example, when you refuse to go out with your friends, but rather stay at your home and read the books. So it requires to being honest with yourself, as I said before. So self-discipline, integrity, being true with yourself, it's the whole circle that revolves in one, one area. So we find the deeper sense of purpose when we have the discipline, the self-discipline, and we so fulfilled in our life when we have aligned goals. But we cannot achieve the goals without self-discipline. That is why self-discipline, it's when you have that vision, the vision that you're working to, and when you are consistent with your vision.
Yeah, that's true. But many people has the struggles with self-disciplines. Maybe you can give any tips to cultivate this trait and any advices for our listeners that wants to start their self-improvement journey.
Yes, of course. So I finished my 181-day challenge of meditation. It required a lot of self-discipline and consistency along the way. Therefore, I built kind of life hacks or tips how to build the self-discipline in yourself, like quick, easy, everyone can do it. First of all, I think in order to be self-disciplined, you need to have a routine. Routine is something that you do repeatedly and do without thinking. So everyone chooses his or her own morning routine, but I have my own. And it starts with remembering the dreams, then making a bed, go into a shower, read books, meditate, and so on. But the thing is that most people don't know that our morning routine starts from the evening of the day before. So it's the fact, because you cannot build a successful morning routine and self-discipline along the way if you do not have evening routine. That's all. Everything is interconnected. And what does it mean to have evening routine? Is that to push yourself to sleep. Yeah, sleep early. Because when we sleep early, it determines our tomorrow. And the thing is that when I started to meditate, I built a mindset. So I switched from a follower to builder mindset when I take the responsibility of my actions and build my future. So the simple life hack is to, once again, build your dream perfect morning routine. Maybe you can look to the successful entrepreneur's morning routine. Everything is available online. I found the same thing. Like, my coach is Jim Quick. He's an entrepreneur. He is a coach, and he teaches every $1 million star. So he has a morning routine. I just copied his morning routine and started to copy the lives of rich people. Let's say that. And also the evening routine, making myself to bed. That's kind of, how to say, step-by-step tip that everyone can do.
Thank you. Also, I want to add something. I heard about the fact that 21 days might be enough to make one kind of habit. How do you think that's true, or it might be individually for every person? I mean, I can try to start a new routine and do it through the 21 days. So, but after that, I might forget it. So it doesn't efficient, you know. So in your case, will it be enough for you to just meditate in 21 days?
Yeah,
Or
same troubles.
like
I mean, I tried a lot of habits. 21 days, really, it's a common belief that this is enough. But when I read James Clear's book that is called Atomic Habits, I suggest everyone to read it, because it really blows your mind. And according to scientists, 21 day is not enough. We need extra 9 day to, how to say, cover this period in order to save it in our memory. So we need 30 days actually. But I tried to meditate 30 days. It didn't help. Yeah, I was still struggling. That's true. I recognized that only after 60 days, for me, I'm not sure about everyone, but honestly, for me, 60 days was the point of switching, when I couldn't imagine my day without a meditation. So I did it without thinking. 59th day was still struggling, because sometimes you don't have time, sometimes you're just lazy, you're tired, you have chores, the mom is saying, why you're not helping me, or the study goals, for example. So, but when you have that habit, you cannot live without it, because you cannot live without brushing your teeth, you cannot live without water, without eating, because everything is a habit, right? And when we have that habit in our mind, We cannot live without it. And for me, it was 60 days. But after 60 days, it was like this. So it didn't require any force to do that. It didn't require any energy, time. It was like an intention, my physical intention to do that.
Oh, thanks. You know what? I was doing a yoga. It
Mhm.
was like a challenge. I did it for about more than 21 days. So, but there were some days when it brings you joy, it brings you pleasure, but then it becomes your like regular stuff that might be boring or something else.
Yeah.
So I faced with that kind of problem. There was no balance. Um, I mean, it was hard to find the balance between the your like habit. It's your habit. You are accountable for yourself. I mean, you do yoga for yourself, for your health, your physical health. So, how do you think? How can we maintain this balance? I mean, being self-compassion and being accountable for ourselves.
Yeah, today there are many things that track our habits. The one that I use is Notion. So to maintain balance, you need always to remind yourself that why am I doing this? So you need to have a clear goal, a reason to do that. Sometimes the reason is vague, so it's blurred. You're like 50-50. Maybe I need it, maybe not. In such case, I don't recommend to start a habit, because unless you're 100% confident in the reason that you have, you cannot do that in the long term. Maybe you're in short term, you're motivated, you have that energy to do that. But if we're talking about the long term perspective, you're failing at this. And in order to build that consistency, I recommend using the diaries, the templates on Notion. Notion is really helpful for maintaining that, because our hormone system works that like serotonin is secluded when we are accomplishing something. So when, for example, the Notion templates have many ticks. So when you complete your goal, your habit, you place that tick button, and it brings so much satisfaction. And when you're consistent with that, you see that green marks every day, and you're so proud of yourself. You have serotonin to do that even more. That is why I always recommend to perceive building a habit like something really serious, even if it is not related to professional background, for example, not related to any study or job goal. Maybe it's your own self-development, right? It's when we're talking about self-worth, it's even more important because it's long-term. And in order to fulfill that consistency, we need to perceive it as a job for real. We need to see it as a coach. We are coached to ourselves, and we need to track ourselves in our progress. That's the solution.
Thanks. Thank you, Nagimash, for your valuable insights, for joining us, for sharing your advices. I think our listeners found the inspiration to pursue the integrity driven life and embrace the power of self-discipline. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media pages, Instagram account, TikTok, Telegram, and YouTube, so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you have any suggestions or questions, you might reach out us on our Instagram account, as well as writing on our email. Make a conclusion.
Yes, I always end up saying with a quote that inspires me a lot. So I really want to share it. This is actually James Clear's quote. So if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. So can you imagine 37 times better? So I wish everyone to have that boost in your self-development era.
Great. Great. Thank you, Nagimash, for joining us, and see you next time.
See you. Thank you for inviting me.
So, thank you. Bye.